Snow ticked against the windows when my father's voice split the room. "Get out of my house." The crystal birds on the spruce shivered as he roared, his face blotched red. My daughter, Ivy, gripped my sleeve, her blue eyes wet with confusion. I stood perfectly still while my brother Connor smirked into his wine, and my mother Laura kept polishing the silver napkin rings, as if extra shine could seal the crack that had just opened wide. Between the carved turkey and the gleam of cutlery, I understood this wasn't a meal. It was an unmasking. None of them knew who had really been paying the mortgage, the SUVs, even my niece's private school tuition. Ghost payments that had arrived like clockwork for years from the woman they were now ejecting. Me. I breathed in, squeezed Ivy's hand. "All right." Silence fell. The fire hissed. "Victoria." My father puffed out his chest, parading like the injured party. "You've shamed us enough." He jabbed a finger toward the door. "You quit your marriage. You'll quit a steady job to chase computer fantasies." I didn't answer. Connor swirled his glass. "Come on, Dad. She's used to people leaving her. Remember Jonah?" The name struck like an open palm. My ex. My mistake. Ivy's father. My mother sighed, then turned to me with sugared pity. "Nicole, you shouldn't have shown up unannounced, expecting us to pretend everything's fine." "What?" Ivy whispered. "Grandma, I just came to see the tree." Mom's face softened for a second, then refroze under Dad's glare. "It's okay, baby," I told Ivy. "We've seen enough." I could have told them Asterion Systems had just inked a massive federal contract, that the family trips, the kitchen remodel, the grand piano in the corner, everything had floated on my ridiculous dreams for years. But truth would only feed their hunger right now. "Come on," I said, guiding Ivy toward the door. Cold rushed in, smelling of pine and frost. I met no one's eyes. "Merry Christmas." Snow blurred the windshield as I buckled Ivy in and let the engine's low hum drown out the last echo of my father's house. She pressed her forehead to the glass. "Did we do something wrong?" "No," I said. "Some people mistake fear for love." At the hotel, she slept curled around her stuffed fox. I sat by the window, frostlight on my hands, and opened my laptop. A message from Riley, my chief of staff, glowed on the screen. "Federal contract countersigned. Congrats, Nicole. Asterion now has 90 days of runway, and then some." I should have felt triumphant. Instead, I clicked the unlabeled tab I never closed. Transfers. For 5 years, the Bennett Family Trust had quietly carried their entire show. Mortgage, cars, private school checks that arrived like miracles. Every month, I'd called it a bridge. Tonight, it looked like a leash. Cancel recurring payments? The prompt waited. I looked at Ivy's small hand splayed on the blanket, lit by the screen's cold glow. "Yes," I whispered. One by one, the light slid from green to gray. No trumpets, just quiet. I sent Riley a note. "Move our flights up. We're going home to the coast." Also, schedule time after the holidays to design a scholarship for women who never get a real seat at tables like theirs. When Ivy stirred, I smoothed her hair. "We'll have our own tree next year," I told her. "Sea air, too much cocoa, and no one shouting." Morning laid a thin coin of sun on the snow. We checked out without fanfare. As I slid the room key across the counter, my phone vibrated. Unknown number. I let it ring. Outside, the cold bit clean. "Where are we going?" Ivy asked. "Somewhere we're wanted," I said, and meant it. The Oregon coast unspooled like ribbon as we drove west, gulls scribbling across the sky. By dusk, we reached our place above the water. White walls, salt on the railings, a tiny fir in the corner blinking like it remembered forests. Ivy hung a paper star and declared it ours. I set soup to simmer and checked my inbox. 17 new messages from back east. I opened one. Mom, your father's card was declined at the club. Call me. Connor, if you're playing games, stop. I closed the laptop and let the pot breathe. After dinner, Ivy fell asleep on the couch, Fox tucked under her chin. I carried her to bed, then stood on the balcony. The Pacific rode moonlight to shore. The old habit rose, to fix, to explain, to pay. I exhaled until it left me. I wrote 2 notes. To Riley, build a mentorship fund for single mothers in tech. Quiet selection, no press. To myself, stop translating cruelty as duty. 3 days later, the calls slowed. An envelope arrived. No return address. Inside, a simple card. We saw your interview about Asterion. We're proud. Mom and Dad. No demands, no history rewritten. I set it on the mantel beside Ivy's paper star and felt the clean weight of choosing. On Christmas night, we ate cookies on the front steps and listened to the tide. Will Santa find us here? Ivy asked. He already did, I said, and tucked the blanket around her knees. In the morning, we walked the beach. She raced the foam, shouting my name like a bell. I thought of the girl I'd been, playing piano for an empty chair, and finally found the applause inside my own chest. When we climbed back up the path, the sea kept shining. I locked the door securely, not against love, but against hunger,